بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم آمين وبعد. We've been speaking about the vices of the heart and the dangers of these vices. And because the a'mal, they're a product of what's in the heart, right? What people do, they only do what they do because of the condition of their heart. And one of the most dangerous vices is hasad, envy. And this act or this quality of hasad, the Prophet ﷺ said that hasad ya'kulul hasanat kama ta'kulun narul hatab, that hasad consumes the hasanat the way the fire consumes wood. And we mentioned, yesterday we began mentioning where does hasad come from, or when do people typically have hasad? And one of those times where people typically have hasad is when they have an animosity with someone, when they don't like someone, right? They rejoice at their pain. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, regarding some of the Ahl al-Kitab, إِن تَمْسَسْكُمْ حَسَنَةٌ تَسُؤْهُمْ. When a blessing is received by you or touches you, تَسُؤْهُمْ, they're bothered by it. It hurts them. وَإِن تُصِبُكُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ يَفْرَحُوا بِهَا. And when a calamity afflicts you, they rejoice at it. They're yafrahu, they celebrate it. And so this is the hal of the hasid. The hasid that doesn't like the other person. When a person doesn't like another person, they celebrate their pain. Another way people say, this is karma, right? You did this to me, you deserve this. That's all hasad, right? Who are you to say what Allah's justice is, right? No one can say what Allah's justice is. But that's hasad. In the Somali culture, when we see somebody here, we say ma'a sukkar, like, with sugar on top of that, like that's how sweet your pain is to me, I'm really enjoying your suffering. All of that is hasad. Why? Because we hate this person, so we want them to feel pain. Not because it does anything good for us, but because we hate them so much, we want misfortune for them. And so that's one of the ways hasad shows, is that hasad comes when there's an enmity between two people. They celebrate their pain. Another way another time that hasad will show is when somebody doesn't want another to be better than them. And some of the leaders of the people of Quraysh, they said, how are we going to compete how are we going to follow the orphan boy of Bani Hashim, Yatim Bani Hashim, right? They couldn't accept the fact that that Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ was the chosen one. They saw him as a rival of another clan, from another clan. So they said, we're going to follow the yatim of Bani Hashim? Never. And so what do they say? In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala quotes them, وَقَالُوا لَوْلَا نُزِّلَ هَذَا الْقُرْآنُ عَلَى رَجُلٍ مِنَ الْقَرْيَتَيْنِ عَظِيمٍ. They said, why, if the Quran was only revealed to one of the great men one of the men from the two great villages, or one of the two great men from the two villages. What are the two towns? The town of Ta'if and the town of Mecca. They're like, if anybody else got it, if one of the chiefs of Mecca got it, or one of the chiefs of Ta'if got it, we could follow him as a prophet. But Bani Hashim, the orphan of Bani Hashim, never. Like, we're not going to follow him. We wish he didn't have this prophethood. And that's another way you see hasad show. So people will be envious of each other. This other person got the job and they didn't. Oh, they don't deserve it, right? They got the promotion, they didn't. How did they get it, right? And so when people are competing with each other, and subhanAllah, hasad always happens between peers. You don't have hasad of the upper class, the millionaires. You're like, oh, those people, they're not my peers, My equals are the people I have hasad of. right? So you look at people that you grew up in the same neighborhood with, you went to the same school with, you have similar backgrounds. You compare yourself to those people, right? Naturally, we're very comparative. What do they have? How come I don't have what they have? And so then we start to have hasad when we see them prosper in ways that we're not prospering. And we wish that they didn't get it. And if they have misfortune, then we celebrate that, we enjoy that. And so this is a very dangerous vice. It can appear in the heart of anybody, right? And once a person has hasad, you can never, you worry about them. Now I want to just point out one thing. We have an issue as a community that oftentimes we'll blame our problems on hasad. We'll just say, oh, this is happening to me because of hasad. And this is like the easy answer, It could be true that it's hasad, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created asbab. Allah created cause and effect. And so we can't just, whenever we have a problem in life, we can't just say, oh, I'm only having this problem because somebody is envious of me, somebody gave me the evil eye. No, try to figure out what is going wrong. Examine the situation, examine the problem, try to figure out ways to make things better. But the easy answer is to say it's only hasad. Then once he says hasad, what happens? You don't have to do anything about it. You just do Quran akhris and you're done, right? That's the easy escape. What it does is you stop yourself, you actually cripple yourself from figuring out a way out of the problem. If you just say all of this is happening because of hasad, then at the end you don't think there's anything you need to change in your life. You think everything is great. I just need Quran and dua and everything is going to be fine. And so this is something that as a community we need to be more aware of, that we need to really don't blame our problems on hasad, although we seek protection with Allah from hasad. But with every hardship, we examine our situation, examine the problem, figure out. Some people will say, a couple are having marital problems. Oh, they were great for a long time. They're just hasad, they need Quran. No, what is going on in the marriage, right? Don't just blame it on hasad. A kid, maybe their parent will have a problem. They'll say, that was a great kid. I think it's just ayn. No, figure out what is going on. Why is this kid rebelling? Don't just say the kid is rebelling because of ayn, or a couple are fighting because of ayn, or then it's a scapegoat. You never actually fix your problem. And then inshallah ta'ala, I conclude with 3 remedies for hasad, 3 ways to treat hasad. Number 1, the hasad, they have 3 issues. The hasad, they have 3 problems. The first one, they have a problem with iman. They have the problem with iman. And so the remedy for that is what? To remember this is Allah's qadr. MashaAllah. Allah willed it. Tabarakallah. And Allah is blessed. So whatever Allah does is khair. If Allah gave them $1 million and gave me nothing, it's khair. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. May Allah give them more and bless it for them. Right? And naturally, the human being is our heart feels uneasy when we see a peer or an equal receive more than us. So we have to correct that. So the darkness of the heart comes out. And we have to correct that by reminding ourselves of iman. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. This is Allah's will, and whatever Allah does is good. MashaAllah, tabarakallah, may Allah bless it. So some of the scholars, they say Allahumma barik. And that's fine, you can add that. But Allahumma barik doesn't replace MashaAllah. So you start with MashaAllah, tabarakallah, and then you can make dua for them. Allahumma barik, may Allah bless it for them. Another issue that the hasad has an issue of qana'ah. They're stingy and they're not content with their life. So-and-so's wife, so-and-so's husband, so-and-so's kids, so-and-so's car, so-and-so's job. They're always looking at other people. They're never grateful for what they have. So to remedy that, we have to develop qana'ah. Look at what Allah gave you. Who's your spouse? Who's your kids? Alhamdulillah for what I have. Thank Allah for what we have. Don't worry about what other people have. Right? When all you do is look at other people's blessings, then you become blind to your own blessing. So the hasad, one of the ways to remedy hasad is to what? Develop qana'ah. And I close with the last point, inshallah ta'ala. The third remedy for hasad, or the third problem the hasad has, is they're stingy. The hasad is stingy. If I can't have it, they can't have it. So want good for people. Do ihsan for people. Give people khair. Make dua for them. Be kind to them. Right? Because that will remove the stinginess of the heart. right? And so those are the three issues that hasad comes from, and the three ways to remedy those issues. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to purify our hearts, to purify us from hasad and all vices of the heart, and we ask Allah to protect us from the hasad, إذا hasad. Allahumma ameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barakallahu feekum.